Okay, these are the homework problems. Since we're only going to do one practice test. Okay. Only 2 questions? Right on, Zippies. Okay, so 4. So how did you guys do problem 1E? You made 2 quadratics and then you multiply the 2 quadratics together? You're doing poly5, right? 1E, did you make 2 quadratics and multiply them together, or did you do the 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 4 at a time thing? But that thing's gonna take a long time. Okay, whatever works. Okay, number, wow, you guys can do 3 but not 4, that's so strange. I hope you guys are asking all the questions period. Because it's going to be pain on the test. 4x cubed plus cx minus 27 is equal to 0. This equation has a double root. Okay, how many roots does this equation have? What? The third power get 3 roots. And all you know is it has a double root. Find the value of c. That's an integer. So I don't know what the roots are. What should I call the first one? Just like the last test we took, the quadratic. You don't know what the root is, call it r. But it's a double root. So what's the other one? R. It's a double root, so we got 2 of them. And then what's the third one? What did we learn yesterday? Notice that there's no x squared term. What does that mean if there's no x squared term? The sum of the roots is negative b over a, but since b is 0, so the sum of the roots is going to be 0. Therefore, what is the third root? If they all have to add up to 0. Negative 2r, right? Because if you add them up, you get 0. I guess if you want to, you can call it r, r, and s, but then you got to have r plus s equals 0, then you're going to get that anyway, right? People, if you don't recognize that the sum of the roots is 0, then you cannot do this problem. It's as simple as that. Okay, now, what is the significance of c over 4? What is that equal to? What did we learn yesterday? Negative b over a is the sum of the roots. That's how I label these things. What is c over a equal to? Multiplying them 2 at a time. So multiply the first 2. What? What is r times r? R squared. Now multiply the first and the third. And then multiply the second and the third. Oh gosh. It's the same thing, people. Woo! This problem is on the test, except it's going to be kicked up a notch now. Probably going to be 4th power. And then what's the significance of negative d over a? So negative d, here, I'll even put the negative sign for you. Negative d over a is equal to multiplying 3 at a time. What's this times this times this? Negative 2r cubed. So you can see from this, that's why you have to start writing equations. Some of you are looking at it and going, I don't know what to do. Yeah, do what you were taught to do. Negative b over a is the sum of the roots. Negative c over a is multiplying them 2 at a time. Negative d over a is multiplying them 3 at a time. Just automatically do that. And then you get 3 points right there if you can do that. And then now you got to solve it. How do you solve this equation? Look right here. This equation you can solve for r already. R cubed is equal to divide by negative 2 and you get? Divide by negative 2 and you get? Divide by -2 and you get -27 over 2 or 8? 8. So if r cubed is -27 over 8, what is r then? Take the cube root of that. What's the cube root of -27 over 8? Are you kidding me? -3/2. See how I make the problem come up nice? See, I have no doubt that when you get this problem on the test, you probably gonna come out with r cubed equal negative, I don't know, something weird, -23 over 7. You cannot even cube root that. I'm gonna make a number you can cube root, right? If you don't have a calculator on the test. Now that you got r, just plug it in here, and then you can figure out what c is. You guys can do that, right? But you have to start by writing what you know. That's what this whole homework is about. The sum of the roots is -b over a. Multiply them 2 at a time is c over a. Multiply them 3 at a time, -d over a. That's what this whole homework is about. Okay, number 5. Here we go, baby. Number 5. So 2x cubed. Okay, this problem is on the test. You don't even have to ask. Okay, before we even start, a, b, and c are the roots of this equation. Let's write this down. If a, b, and c are the roots, what is a plus b plus c equal to? What happens when you add the 3 roots? What do you get? -b over a. If I multiply them 2 at a time, what do you get? C over a. And if I multiply them 3 at a time, you get -d over a. Okay, now this problem on the test, you write that down and give you 1 point. Just for writing it down. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give you the same numbers. Just so you feel comfortable. This is probably going to be number 8 on the test. Okay, now, you're going to have to use these things to figure out the problem. Because, like, remember last chapter? I gave you a problem like this. Some of you actually computed the roots, right? But now, I gave you an equation. You cannot compute the roots. Did anybody try to compute the roots of this equation? You can't do it. That's why I picked these numbers. Unless you use the cubic formula. You guys know there's a cubic formula. There's a quadratic formula. There's a cubic formula. I put it on the bulletin board over there if you want to see it. It's not something you want to memorize, believe me. Okay, anyway, part A. What is the value of 1 over a plus 1 over b plus 1 over c? Hey, we did a problem like this last chapter. What did we do? Does anybody remember what we did? Of course not. We wrote it in a different form. What's another way of writing this? Think about it. If you cannot compute the 3 roots, how are you going to figure this out? The only way is you got to use this. How do you add 3 fractions together? What do? You make a least common denominator. What goes on the top? BC plus AC plus AB. Hey, you somebody! Look, that's this thing right there. So that's 5/2. Hey, you somebody! That's this right here. That's 7/2. So multiply top and bottom by 2, 5/7. Finished. So even though you don't know what the 3 roots are, you can still figure out what that is by using these 3 things right here. But if you don't start by writing this on your paper, then it's all over but the crying. I think this test might have a lot of crying. That's what it seems like. It's going to happen here. Where? Yeah, it is negative. What are you guys talking about? Next time, come up with a good question. Okay, B. Write a cubic polynomial whose roots are a minus 1, b minus 1, c minus 1. Hey, didn't we do something like this last chapter? Yes, we did. I hope you guys remember. Okay, last chapter was quadratic. Remember I told you, think of the graph, except now it's a cubic equation. The roots are a, b, and c. That means those are like the x-intercepts. I want to write an equation whose roots are a minus 1, b minus 1, c minus 1. What do I have to do to this graph to get a minus 1, b minus 1, c minus 1? You gotta shift it 1 to the... Okay, if this is a, where would a minus 1 be? Wouldn't it be over here somewhere? Yeah. So it looks like this. Yeah. So the graph has to be shifted 1 unit to the left. And do we know how to shift the graph 1 unit to the left? Yes, we learned this from Algebra 1. What is it? Does that shift the graph 1 to the left? We don't even know. Does that shift it 1 left, 1 right, 1 up, or 1 down? 1 out of 4 chance. Yes, that's 1 to the left. So all you have to do is substitute x plus 1 for x in the original equation, and it shifts it 1 to the left. So here's your answer. 2 x plus 1 cubed plus 3 x plus 1 squared plus 5 x plus 1 plus 7 is equal to 0. That's your answer. Then you got to simplify it. I think you guys can multiply. I hope you guys remember Pascal's triangle, so you can do this, right? X plus 1 cubed. If not, then just go to the side and go x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x plus 1 and have a good day. Look, yes or no? Do you guys remember we did these problems in the last chapter, except now instead of quadratic, it's cubic? It's like the same problems. Who am I? Who am I? Period 3. That's who I am. Okay, C, and then now, see, those were the appetizers, and now this is like the thinking level problem. Compute the value of a squared plus b squared plus c squared. But the thing is, you don't know any of the roots. But I gave you a hint. The hint is expand a plus, I can't believe, only the last several years I put in this hint. Expand this, okay. What would happen if you expand this? Okay, just in the interest of time, I'm going to show you what you get. A squared plus b squared plus c squared plus 2ab plus 2ac plus 2bc. Of course, math team guys, we just know that already, right? This is the thing we're trying to find right here. Do we know what that is? Hey, you somebody! Look, right there. A plus b plus c is negative 3/2. So I can substitute negative 3/2 over there. Okay, that's the thing we're trying to find. I call it box. And what about this thing over here? What would happen if I factor out a 2? Factor out a 2 from these things. What do you get? AB plus AC plus BC. Hey, you somebody! That's this thing right here. That's 5/2. So now can you figure out what the box is? I think so, right? Just square that and subtract that if that's the answer. Anyway, have you ever seen this before? A plus b plus c quantity squared is this plus that. That's just an extension of this, you know. A plus b quantity squared is equal to a squared plus b squared plus 2ab, right? You guys know this from Algebra 1. That's just an extension of it. Okay, what time? We got time for one more problem? Oh, very good. You guys did the best fit cubic function, so you guys are catching on to these best fit curves, right? Very good. You guys sure you guys don't want to go over like, since you guys didn't ask 3 or something like that? How come I gotta ask the questions? I know how to do them. Okay, so here's your equation plus cx plus d equals 0. Again, notice there's no x squared term. What does that mean? I don't know, that was 10 minutes ago. How am I expected to remember that? Okay, one of the roots is 1 plus root 3. Now what did we learn yesterday? If one of the roots is 1 plus radical 3, what has to be another root? 1 minus radical 3. Now the third root, we don't know what it is. If you want to call it r, you can. But if you notice that there's no x squared term, what does that mean? The sum of the roots is 0, negative b over a. Look, x cubed plus 0x squared. This is b. If b is 0, what is negative b over a? 0. That means the sum of the 3 roots has to add up to 0. So, what is this plus this? 2. So, what does the third root have to be so that they all add up to 0? It's got to be negative 2. Now I know all 3 roots. Easy now, right? Once you know all three roots, what? What is C over A? C over A is equal to, multiply them 2 at a time. Multiply the first two. Oh gosh, same thing as yesterday. Multiply the first two. There's no I in it. You guys, I think you can handle it. 1 minus 3. Multiply the first and the third. Negative 2 minus 2 root 3. Am I going to write the minus 2 root 3? No, because it's going to cancel out here. But some of you just don't know, so here, just write it. Because some of you are just befuddled, yeah? Multiply the second and the third. Negative 2 plus 2 root 3. You're right, Mr. Park, they cancel. They have to, you guys understand why they have to cancel? That's the only way you can get integer coefficients. They have to cancel. If they don't cancel out, you're doing something wrong. And then you can figure out what C is. There it is, negative 6. And then finally, negative D over A is multiplying 3 at a time. We already multiplied these two, which is negative 2. So what's negative 2 times negative 2? 4. Or, I'm sorry, A is 1, so D is negative 4. See how this whole worksheet has to do with the pattern. The sum of the roots, multiply them 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 4 at a time, 5 at a time, and so forth. I'm going to tell you right now, this problem's going to be on the test, except it's going to be 4th power. You got to understand this thing, because there's no way you can compute the roots. I'm going to give you an equation where you cannot compute the roots. So the only way you can solve the problem is by using this. And if you guys don't practice it, oh, this is going to bring plenty of Kleenex. So that's the homework now. We're taking some from poly5 and some from poly7. So here, basically I'm picking the ones that are going to be on the test just to help you. But if you don't actually sit down and do it, it's not going to help. My dog can watch me do it on the board. You might get the same scores that some of you are going to get. What? You guys get it right down. Okay, what about down here? There's only 10 numbers there. Here, there's a pattern, look. You remember 1 and 3, but 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Add 1 to get 7. Okay, see you tomorrow. You guys are in a heap of trouble. That's usual. Period 3, heap of trouble. Here, let's put it. Bye. And just in case you forgot, this is tonight's homework. Poly 6, Poly 7.